You know why we do this? We do this to stand in solidarity with our January 6th inmates, defendants, their families. They're being wrongly persecuted, treated just awful ways. I mean, yes, no due process. The government is, arresting people for misdemeanors and holding them in pre-trial detention for, twice the amount of time that would be a maximum sentence if they were actually found guilty, but they're not bringing them to trial. They're not showing any evidence against them. Indefinite detention. Think about that. American citizens being indefinitely detained with no evidence shown, no trial, no due process. Excuse me. Absolutely abhorrent conditions. And anytime any sort of news breaks or information comes out from the inmates, they're punished by the guards, by the prisons. So when we call them political prisoners, that's accurate. Some people call them prisoners of war. I mean, this is information warfare. We are fighting for the Constitution. We, meaning we the people, those that are out speaking truth and researching and doing digs to try to combat the lies and the false narratives that are being fed to us by those that are in power, by those that we, are told we're supposed to trust, by talking heads on TV. And we are being censored, silenced, banned, deleted, persecuted and prosecuted, discriminated against, you name it. Those that were willing to speak up on January 6th, in my opinion, they're heroes. So we do this every night, singing the national anthem. And I've heard several people say, oh, they don't need a song, they need action. Not gonna lie, that gets under my skin. Because of a couple reasons. One, with the way that the atmosphere, the political atmosphere is, the only way that we, the people, can get action is if we bring attention to matters that need attention to our representatives. And enough people need to be loud about it and saying the same thing for them to even care enough to look into it. So we do this to help bring awareness to what our J6ers are going through. But secondly, the people that are involved with January 6th, those that are in lockup, those that are at home on electronic monitoring or at home detention, out on their own recognizance, bond, whatever their situation may be, they're real people. They're human beings, American citizens. They have families, children, husbands, wives, mothers, fathers, you name it. They're people. And they are facing a very scary situation. Wives don't know when their husbands are going to be home. They don't even know when their trials are going to be. They're just constantly pushed back. They're struggling to keep the lights on, struggling to keep a roof over their head. They've received threats of the government taking their children. And the list is long. And it is awful to think that they would have to go through this by themselves. So the second reason that we are doing this, other than to, like I said, bring awareness so that we can get some action, is to show support for those that are involved in their families and let them know that they are not in this fight alone. So as they scream from the rooftops that their loved one is being illegally detained or falsely persecuted and prosecuted, that they're not out there by themselves. So I want everybody to keep that in mind. Especially the haters that say, well, our J6ers don't need a song, they need action. Because that's exactly what we're trying to help bring, is peaceful action by spreading peaceful awareness. To not comply, to not consent, and to say that we do not agree with what is going on, how our American citizens are having their rights trampled, their lives destroyed. But a big part of it is to show those that are in this travesty that they're not alone. The inmates that are in lockup sing the national anthem every night at 9 p.m. from their cells. The same government that is persecuting them, the same country that has labeled them as terrorists, those inmates can find the American resolve to stand together in unity with one unified voice to still show love of country, using the national anthem as a way to protest the conditions in which they are being held. So we do the same. We sing with them. We stand with them. We pray for them. And those family members that see these videos, and there are several, I get notifications of DMs and messages all the time of people saying, you know, they really appreciate what we're doing as a whole, because it gives them hope. I hear from others that our videos nightly remind them to pray for our J6ers. It helps to shed away the distractions that pop up in their lives and help them to remember what they're going through and that they need prayer. But haters gonna hate. Whatever. Everybody's got freedom of speech, even if it's stupid. Feel free to hate me in the comments. I'm always in for a good laugh. Because we're not going to stop until they bury me under the prison, or until every single J6er is set free. This isn't about me. This isn't about my case. I'm probably hurting my case, to be honest. I don't even care. This is about them, their families, and ultimately your freedom. For all the haters out there, we are standing up for your freedom of speech to be a hater. Love you. So if you can find the resolve to stand up, speak out, to show that you stand in solidarity with the J6ers, their families, join us. It's pretty simple. Sing the national anthem. Post a video on social media using the hashtag #SingForFreedom. Any platform. You don't even have to videotape yourself. Videotape a tree or a flag or anything. Something. Share it. We look. If I come across it, I'll snag it up, put it on my platforms as well. I know several people that do the same. So we'd love to have you. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. J6ers and their families, we stand with you. We always have. We always will. Sing for freedom, folks.